I'm James Heaney, and this is Brief News Brief. Donald Trump has won the presidential election. He will be the 45th president of the United States. How did he do this? He did this by winning the majority of the Electoral College votes. That means that he got the majority of Americans to vote for him. Wrong. That's not what happened. The majority of the voters voted for Hillary Clinton. When all the votes are cast, we're expecting that number to be over 1 million votes that were majority-wise towards Hillary Clinton. Now, you got to ask yourself, how does this happen? How do we have such a close election and the Electoral College votes from so much more? Well, the real question is, where are all these voters? In 2008, there were 10 million more Democratic voters that came out and voted for Barack Obama than showed up at the voter booth on Tuesday, November 8th, 2016. Now, those voters, there's a lot of different things that it could be. Is it Bernie Sanders fans that stayed home because they felt burnt? They got the heartburn? It might be. Is it the Russian hackers that have released emails and been in contact with Donald Trump? We'll talk about that later. Or perhaps it was the fact that the media had made everyone believe that Hillary Clinton had already won. Everybody had balloons tied to their ceiling ready to get pulled at the drop of either. The only question they had is, are we going to drop the balloons when Hillary does her acceptance speech? Or should we drop the balloons when Donald has to do his concession speech? That didn't happen. Those balloons are still up in the rafters. On a higher note, 7 states have voted to authorize the legal use of marijuana, whether it's recreationally or medically. That means, at the very least, if you're in California, you're allowed to smoke it, you're allowed to give it to someone, you're allowed to take it from someone, you're allowed to grow it, carry it. The only thing you're not allowed to do is buy it. We still got to make laws in order to let people purchase it. But that should be coming pretty soon in 2017. Now, I hate to be the buzzkill, but we need to return to the Orange Dawn. Yes, Donald Trump's imminent presidency. How did he get there? Well, certainly the help of the Russians. What did they do? They used cyber warfare, cyber crimes. They were hackers. They hacked the DNC. They released a bunch of emails which may or may not be true. I don't know. I didn't read them. I don't read Russia propaganda. You might have. Go ahead, fill me in on what they said. But here's the bottom line. They were trying to influence our election. Now, Donald Trump encouraged this. He said he should. In fact, he really likes Putin. And it turns out we've got recent information that while this whole thing was going on, his internal people, Donald Trump's, campaign people, were in contact with the Russian government. That seems a little weird. But what's worse is that now we find out that Donald Trump says straight out he's going to meet with Vladimir Putin before he's even president. And on top of that, Vladimir Putin has said that he was in contact with Donald Trump's people the whole time. Now, all these things together are undeniable because no one's denying it. It's just out there in the open. No one's saying it didn't happen. Here's the issue. He's being filled in with all of the classified information because he's going to be the next president unless somebody petitions against it or something. And they're giving it information. So what if we were going to have retribution against them for these hackings of the DNC? He would be filled in on all of this. Of course he's going to tell Putin at tea time what's going on with the firewall in Russia, right? It's time to talk about the here, the now, and the future. We know that the environment is in jeopardy. Start recycling. I recycle, but a lot of times I don't recycle things the right way. I need to take things into my own power and change them. When I leave, I've got to start turning my Xbox One off because I'll tell you what, it must waste energy because if I feel it, I could cook an egg on top of that thing. So I'm going to start turning off my Xbox. I'm going to stop leaving my water running when I leave. A lot of times I think that Punkert, my dog, likes the sound of the shower running, so I'll leave the shower on. But sometimes she's eating in the kitchen. I leave all the water on. That's got to stop today and tomorrow. No more playing games because no one's looking out for us in Congress. Now's the time where we want to hear from you. We've got some important questions for the viewers. First off, who really should have won the election? I need to know because apparently there's some discrepancy. Secondly, where are the best pizzas at? Chicago, New York, Los Angeles? Come on. And finally, what time is it? What time is it? I'm James Heaney, and this is Brief News Brief.